Welcome back to Grab Your Brew, and if you're new, welcome. Please like and subscribe. We are on week 6 of the Diddy trials. But before we get into that, I do want to say you might want to listen to the end of the video because we are going to be doing a giveaway. So to figure out how to be part of the giveaway, listen to the end of the video. So we start off the week with the drama from last week, which is jury number 6. But the judge is playing no games. He said, no, you were untruthful. He attempted to complain about all the jurors being white and shouldn't be excluded without a chance to explain why he said what he said. You will have some explaining to do, Lucy. The judge ended up kicking everybody out of his chambers, and now jury number 6 is gone, and he was replaced with somebody else. Now, the way it moves is not necessarily that the whole panel was white or they fetch somebody else to come in to sit in his seat. When somebody is kicked out, removed, whatever the reason may be, they all move along the seat. And this jury has been known as one of the most diverse groups. But the judge is really getting, he's like, you guys are getting on my tits. I've had enough of you. So he's gone and everybody moved up a seat. So while all the drama was going off about arguing over the jury, the Diddy's team tried to do yet another mistrial and said that Bonner was lying about everything. It's all a lie. They need a mistrial with no evidence to back up that anything is a lie or anything to discredit her. She may have just been nervous on the stand. So the feds were like, okay, bet. If you think she's lying, let's go ahead and bring the witness Bob Holliday in, who used to be once friends with both her and Diddy. Now, at one time, Bonner was going to sue Diddy for everything that he did to her, but Diddy had to, he had who? Bob Holliday call her and ask to settle. Go ahead, grab your cups, and drink this tea, guys. Now, if what he claims never happened, what she said on the stand never happened, the abuse that she endured with him, then why would he have Rob Holiday call him and ask to settle as starting at $1 million? Who tries to settle starting at $1 million if they're innocent? His team freaked out, begging it not to be used in court because apparently it's hearsay, but it was a recorded conversation. So they are attempting a mistrial but refuse the evidence to be brought to court to prove that it was not a mistrial and what she was saying was in fact true. Now you can clearly tell that the judge is starting to get really fed up with this. He's tired of it. He's used to professionalism. He's used to having control over his courtroom. And he said basically the amount of scrutiny that they're pulling out is out of control for his courtroom. Now I am extremely paraphrasing because, clearly this isn't what he said, but to me, the long paragraph, I'm going to sum it up, is F you, get this ish out of my court. Take it somewhere else, because obviously he didn't say that, but he may as well have. He just said it in a more professional tone. He was saying, get this shit out of here. He said in his courtroom, race absolutely has nothing to come into play. And he shut that shit down right away. His defense team, Diddy's defense team, were all huddling up after this. like, oh, what are we going to do? Nothing we're saying is working. But they were all huddling up, and it popped up that there were maybe another member of the jury that's already getting ready to get kicked out too. It's crazy. People are now watching Diddy's every move towards the jury in the courtroom. This is becoming more and more embarrassing as Diddy's team try to pull any straw, string, anything to try and get a mistrial. Because we know that he was communicating at some point with the jury. It might be a head nod, it might be a smile, but clearly something was going on there. Let's go ahead and see what our Tisa has to say about this.
And usually he comes in like, hi, everybody, hi. He's a fair judge. Baby, Judge Aaron came in like, literally like the Dark Lord Voldemort. He came in like a Dark Lord Voldemort. Robe was blowing. And I said, oh my God, he's coming in hot, which is so unlike him. Literally came to the thing, please be seated. We were like, okay, right? Sat down. You know me, I always think I'm in trouble. And I'm like, oh, yikes. Is this it? Are they I always think I'm about to get kicked out of the courtroom, even though I have no reason to be kicked out. But you know me, I always think, right? They say that's something called ADHD people. We always think we're in trouble, even though we're not, because our whole lives we've been in trouble because we're always jumping all over the place, right? Lynette Holmes, thank you so much for the super chat, all right? So he said, listen, there was an article that came out yesterday, and the contents of that article, no one knew about, right? No one should have known about it. It was a sealed courtroom. It was a closed courtroom. And it was a sealed order that none of the parties in that room could talk about it. So how did an article just come out last night about the article? Now, here's the thing. Y'all know I went to every news site before I went on live because I was like, what? News article, what? I literally was like, what's going on? I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night, so I thought I missed something, but nobody knew the article he was talking about. But get this, the prosecution and the defense both knew what article he was talking about. And he literally said to Miss Comey, has anybody from your team talked to anybody? Release, blah, blah, blah. No, Your Honor, we haven't. Mr. Agnifilio, because basically he was also implying that the prosecution has no reason to leak information. That goes against the purpose. It goes against the game. They are the dealer. They don't have to leak information. Just like they found out that CNN video, the prosecution didn't leak it. What happened was one of the security men that had taken a video were the one that sold that the video to CNN of Cassie being whatever. Anyway, he went to Mark, Mr. Agnifilio. Did anybody from your team, blah, 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 blah. Mark got up, no, Your Honor, I don't think so. And I said, Mark, stock with the whole golly shack. This is not the time to be mumbling and stuttering in front of the judge. You look guilty. The judge looked at them and he said, well, someone's lying. But when he said that, he was looking at Mark Agnifilio because the underrepresentation is the government doesn't have a reason to leak. The defense has been fighting for mistrials. And also, whatever the information was, Judge Aaron was implying, okay, that leak came from, only helped the defense. That's another reason he was looking at the thing like, why would the prosecution leak this, right? He said, well, obviously someone is lying. He said, and Mark Agnifilio was just like, literally acting real nervous, right? He said the court was closed. The transcript was closed, right? Someone present for the court sealing violated a federal court order. It's just like, literally acting real nervous, right? He said the court was closed. The transcript was closed, right? Someone present for the court sealing violated a federal court order. And again, he was pissed. Judge Aaron does usually not have this much anger and wrath. And there was no type of there was no, it was like, y'all messed up now, right? He said, were you aware, Mr. Agnifilio, were you aware during yesterday's proceedings, right, of the article? The government jumps up, Your Honor, we weren't aware. And that's what I said, you know they didn't leak, because they were low-key kind of enjoying it. Your Honor, we weren't aware, right? And he said, Mr. Agnifilio, were you aware during yesterday's proceedings that this article existed? And Mark Agnifilio was like, no. Why are you taking so long to say yes or no answer if you don't have anything to do with this, right? And then he said, what? And listen, started questioning Mark Agnifilio. When did you become aware? I don't know, Your Honor. I can't say when we became aware. You can't say where you became aware of an article that violated a court order. You don't remember where you were when you did this? You don't remember where you were when you actually spilled the beans for what was going on? I said, somebody looking like they lying.
It gets messier and messier. They played 3 out of the 6 freak-off tapes in the courtroom. The jury were disgusted, apart from apparently there was some that were all in looking at it, but a majority were disgusted, and there's still 3 more to go. Yet Diddy is somehow trying to use these videos to his benefit. He is somehow convinced that these videos will help when it's really damning evidence. He doesn't seem to know what he did wrong or understand how consent works in the real world. This just goes to show you ego and money should never mix. Ever. After the tapes were played, people said that they were looking at the deadlet and the look and expression on his face kind of like the best way I would describe it is, like when a teenage boy pops his cherry for the first time or kisses a girl and has like his chest puffed out, like, yeah, that happened. Like he was almost proud of everything that was going on. He is absolutely delulu. And in the same day, the judge is now pissed and looking to be like, off with their heads, as sensitive information was leaked to a blog. And if this was Diddy's team, they better watch their back because this judge is not playing. He's definitely not playing with your, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's like they had a closed courtroom. Closed. I hope it wasn't his team. It was a sealed courtroom, meaning no one could see what was going on inside the courtroom, not even the overflow room. Everybody was under the law that it remains in the courtroom, and somehow it just so happened to get leaked. Again, second time this has happened. I'm starting to think Diddler's lawyers are being held against their will because they're like trying to pull at every little tiny little thing as if they're trying to save their life. Because if in reality they're slowly destroying their careers playing these games. If if they did leak these videos, because it makes no logical sense. The level of education sitting in that one spot as to how basically you're going down this road, because at this point your ship's going down like Leonardo. Shout out to Jax. Please don't sue me. I know this is your song.
With the ship Leonardo, put on your box and your docs and we'll kick it at the bar. No. On top of that, Brendan Paul is set to take the stand. What does that mean? Let me remind you guys, we are live outside the courthouse. Let me remind yourself who Brendan Paul is and why this spells the end for Diddy. This is 100% Judgment Day, okay? Now listen, the Fed's been said, we're ready to end our case on Wednesday. Mark Agnifilio told the judge that they're only going to take a week, right? And that they'll probably start Friday. Now, here's the thing. I want to call cap on that. The Diddy's team has almost everything they told the court has been wrong, delayed, or denied. Now, maybe they're just incompetent. But I don't think lawyers charging $1 million a month are incompetent. I think they do what they can to kick the ball down the street, and then when the ball comes back, all of a sudden they got something to say, okay? There is no way. First of all, yesterday there was an expert witness, and don't get me wrong, Tinny Garagos was showing the other text messages and all this stuff. Great, great, great. So we're talking about a girl that was basically sex trafficking against her will and beaten brutally, and you talking about some text messages from 2008, 2009, talking about, oh my God, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, so, but one of the things that she did do that I didn't notice is when Judge Aaron, after he destroyed Diddy, saying, y'all better stop leaking stuff, right? After he destroyed Diddy, Judge Aaron said, yo, how long is your case going to take? Like, I don't expect to hold you to this, but come on, you got to give me something, because I got to write these jury instructions. These jury instructions could make or break a case. You guys have to give me your, usually the lawyers write the jury instructions. In federal court, the Fed writes them, but they give the jury time to actually say something. They give the prosecutor and defense a little bit of input, right? Anyway, the judge was like, listen, come on, we're going to have to wrap this up in like 3 to 5 business days.
So let's just do like a little mini recap of the drama so far, just so we can fill you in on the little gaps and timelines really quickly.
There was more chaos in Diddy's trial on Wednesday as a
More
judge decided
chaos.
to cancel testimony for the day because a
More and more
juror
just keeps
apparently
coming.
suffered a vertigo episode on their way to court. This, of course, comes after the judge dismissed juror number 6 on Monday over inconsistent statements about where he actually lived. There was more chaos in Diddy's trial on Wednesday as a judge decided to cancel testimony for the day.
And then, of course, we have Diddy's drug mule. And he flipped and took the stand. It ain't looking good, Lucy.
We still have Brendan Paul on the stand this morning, and this man isn't holding shit back. He's spilling the beans on P.
Nothing.
Diddy. Let's get into his
Everything.
testimony. Is this your chat with baby girl? What is happening? Jonathan Perez is introducing me to baby girl. She asked me, is it for you or Puff? I replied, Puff. But tell anyone it's for me. Why? Puff is high profile, so we used aliases. How did you pay for the rugs? Cash, from the Gucci bag or security, usually Fahim. In this text message, what is flowers? Mary Jane. Did you also call it trees? Yes. Here Fahim tells me, I'll get paid back once Duke comes on shift. Did Mr. Combs have you take rugs? Yes, to test his tussy. Did you want to take
everything.
it? I wanted to prove my loyalty. What were Wild King nights? Mr. Combs and significant others. Rugs and relations. Did Jane participate in Wild King nights? Yes. Did Mr.
Yes.
Combs' other girlfriends participate in Wild King nights? Not that I'm aware of. Who called them Wild King nights? KK. I'd just say he's going to hotels. Did Mr. Combs stop using hotels and move them to the residences? Yes. After Cassie's lawsuit. What did you do? Clean up after. What does this say? That Jane's coming in. Brendan is setting it up.
So he didn't
Wild King night
stop.
probable.
He just got more
Where did you make the
secretive with it.
reservation? Nabo. Where was this Wild King night? Jane's residence. I wrote, running to Walmart for them. KK asked, Wild King mode active or Gucci bag active? What did you say? Between the two. KK knew it all.
Now, with all this being said, let me go ahead and replay you the clip from the video that I did prior to the trial. If you haven't checked that out, I will post it. Yeah. But, yeah, let's go ahead and listen to his phone call that was recorded while he was in jail.
Diddy was caught attempting to speak in code during a phone call from prison. He really thought nobody would notice.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes
He's talking in
leftover
code,
from the
he's
pizza.
dumb.
Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Yeah.
He's
Did
dumb.
Jay reach out yet?
Nah, Pop. He ghosting.
Yeah, watch.
What this motherfucker doing? These things sweet
You heard him?
because I'm in here. This is
Jay-Z
all
reach
good.
out. You heard him? That's a
He clearly is sinking to a new low level of intelligence, thinking his code words are going to cover up that we know you're telling your son to clean up your dirty mess. This shows that he only really cares about himself, putting his son in a position to begin with. Now you're implicating him. Shame on you, Diddy. Now, I don't know the truth in this next video, but it is alleged. Let's just say the whole video is alleged, just as a blanket statement, till he's proven guilty. I think the way the man's impersonating Diddy's son is absolutely hilarious.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. King Kong's Diddy Glover's freak-off twin, motherfucker with the Burger King crown on, pure survival, he just went off on Diddy's drug mule, Brendan Paul, pure survival, for snitching on his dad. Brendan Paul said, dude, they made me tell him, dude, I didn't want to tell, dude. King Kong said, you sit there and snitch on my dad and try to make it like my dad was the one providing drugs when you know damn well you will get high with my dad. That's why I don't like nobody say no day, because he will get high with my dad. And that's why you see me with the king outfit on, because I dress like a king, because my dad said one day I'm going to find me a queen. That's why I dress like a king. But I say, Brendan Paul, you know you will get high with my dad, and he was not the only one that was doing drugs. You were doing drugs with my dad, and now you want to testify and snitch on my dad. I just don't understand how everybody was doing drugs, getting high, and having fun, and having freak outs, but then lie on my dad. This is my dad.
Day 27 of testimony in the criminal trial of Sean Combs. Today we had testimony from Brendan Paul, a former personal assistant for Mr. Combs from late 2022 until his arrest in March of last year when he was found in possession of 0.7 grams of cocaine. Mr. Paul said today that he did not tell authorities that the cocaine was Mr. Combs out of his, quote, loyalty. He had said that when he was found in possession of Mr. Combs' cocaine, quote, his heart dropped. When he was asked if he was indebted to Mr. Combs, he said, quote, yes, I learned a lot. Final witness of today was a special agent for Homeland Security Investigations, Joseph Circello. And Mr. Circello spent about an hour detailing phone, hotel, and financial records that linked Combs, James, and some of the escorts. The prosecution got through their first portion of questioning of Mr. Circello. I believe that Mr. Circello is the final witness for the prosecution. And then defense attorneys for Mr. Combs have said that they will take about 2 to 5 days to present their case. Mr. Combs is not expected to take the stand. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. If convicted, he faces up to life in prison.
So, with everything damning coming out, including the kitchen sink, apparently the court date is going to change again. Yep, it's now changed from expanding past the original trial date of the 4th of July to maybe wrapping it up as soon as next week. I don't understand why their witness list is like a book as far as Diddy's team, but apparently our last witness was damning enough that they're ready to close the case. And Diddy's team is, of course, grasping at straws as usual, trying to extend it. Thank you for grabbing a brew with me this week, and follow us for what may be the final week of the Diddy trial. Also, as stated at the start of the video, we will be having a giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe and like the videos. Once we reach 500 subs, the person in the #1 spot in the YouTube spotlight will be receiving a free giveaway from Grab Your Brew. You gotta watch, interact, share our post. That will help you move to the #1 spot, and we will be sending you a free gift that just may actually start being some of our merch line. Thank you for grabbing a brew with me this week, and follow us for what may be the final week of the Diddy trial. Also, as stated, please like and subscribe, and don't forget you can email us at grabyourbrew@gmail.com for anything you would like us to do a deep dive on, or if you would like us to do a react video. But remember to put react in the subject bar. Have an amazing week, guys. Thank you. Mwah. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget you can email us at grabyourbrew@gmail.com for anything you would like us to do a